Hello and welcome to Growing in Business interview series. I'm Flemming Johnson, your host, and today I'm joined by D'Andre Clayton, who is co-founder at Clayton Financial Solutions. D'Andre, would you just take a few minutes? Thank you first for joining us. Kick us off by telling us a bit about your background, who you are, and what you do.
Okay. Well, as was said, I am DeAndre Clayton. I'm known in the financial services as a person who provides some innovative, different ways to assist people from a financial standpoint. I take a macro level view of it because I also run a Medicare firm. So, in running a Medicare firm, running a life and annuity firm, or actually managing a life and annuity firm, you start to realize some of the pitfalls of retirement and different things like that. And I've kind of combined them along with some other forms and connected with many different professionals to be able to provide a best interest solution for anybody that I sit in front of, rather it be using different types of lending to help them to pay off homes quicker, and different ways to associate with closing their gaps or their insecurities in their financial picture. So that's kind of what I've been doing for years. I'm not the average, I guess, a sales guy from that standpoint. Many times, some of my advice is more pertinent than any product that can be offered. So,
Very good. Tell me, what inspired you to start your own business? And what was that initial spark that led you to take the entrepreneurial
I would say sometimes you're an entrepreneur before you know you are. And it's one of those things when you're on a job or something like that, a person always, even managers are like, you know what, you don't belong here. You should be doing something greater or anything of that nature. I've heard that kind of throughout my entire life, and I think it's because of my ability to process and the way I think of things is not necessarily from an employee lens. And partially not understanding things like sick days. I'm kind of crazy. I'm like, how can you tell somebody when they're sick, right? Uh, and as I grew towards wanting to be more involved on the operational side of things and understanding, hey, what's the cost and what's the profit? That led me into more of being an entrepreneur because those things can be changed. The fixtures of that can be changed in order to have a greater degree of profit.
Okay, very good. What are some common misconceptions about running a business, and how do you address them?
Um, I would say I would say the biggest misconception I probably see, even amongst people I advise, is I think too many people get in business for tax write-offs, right? I think most people aren't in business for profit. And I think that, that kind of demeans the concept of really being an entrepreneur. It really means a lot to really bring value to individuals. So if you end up having a little bit more in taxes, that just means that you probably provided a great deal of value to different individuals if you do owe a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
And so that has always been my thing, that I think when I speak to people and I hear what their concepts are, whether it be the real estate investors that often I advise, their mindsets are not on profit as much as it should be, and understanding debt appropriately to be able to make sure that your profit scales a lot quicker and a lot more safely.
Okay. How do you maintain work-life balance as a business owner? Do you have any personal rituals, habits, or things that keep you motivated and focused?
That's a good question. At one point, I wasn't very balanced, I'd have to say, because I'm a slightly nerdy by nature. I enjoy numbers. So I'm dealing in numbers all day, and that's fun for me. It doesn't bother me, and so I used to just work, and oh my goodness, look at the time, because you're talking to people from California, you're talking to people from all over the nation, so you can lose track of time with different time zones for sure. Lately, at least over the past year, what I've done to adjust that is just to change my calendar times. There was a book I read, and I'm trying to think of the name of it, but the premise of it was that your audience will come to you when you are open, so to speak. And I truly believe that now that, my calendar stays booked, even though I narrowed the times down, right? And the your favorite shop or anywhere that you go to, your mechanic isn't open 24 hours. You have to schedule an appointment and you have to get there when they are open. And so coming to that realization told me that I really needed to change some forms of my calendar and managing it, and automating my system, my CRM system that, follows up with the people, lets them, schedule their follow-up appointments and all that, but it all does it in the confines of what the available slots are on the calendar.
Very good. In a constantly evolving business landscape, how do you stay adaptable and open to change? Are there specific strategies that you pursue to remain innovative?
So, by nature, I am an extrovert, but by business, I'm sort of introverted. And what I mean by that is I'm not really, uh, naturally, I'm not really into social media that much. Like, most people are not going to see me on Instagram or Facebook, and that's kind of what is the normal movement for an average business. I've never been a fan of purchasing leads. I can count on my two hands how many times I've purchased leads over the course of this entire 9 years for Medicare and life and annuities. I've always been the person who forms relationships. So, I go over here and I form a relationship with this person and tell them what value that I can bring. And then, that normally would be my funnel. My sales funnel would come from doing that. And of course, providing good service so that your referrals really is what you're working off of. As of late, in this adaptable space, I've started to show up on podcasts and educate people about different strategies to get rid of debt or different strategies to grow wealth, different strategies to grow wealth with accessibility or liquidity and not having to worry about losing money. So with being featured across YouTube on many different, on a few different channels and many different videos, that keeps a steady spring at all times, because I think right now we're in an age where information is so accessible that people really want you to give to them before they're willing to book or before they're willing to look any further. And so, because I'm an educator by nature, that actually fits me better than buying a lead order or, trying to do different things like that.
Outstanding. It seems that you've found a place and a process that fits who you are
Mm-hmm.
and helps you model that through your pursuit of clients.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Let's take a glimpse now into your future. What are your
Mm-hmm.
future plans, goals for your business? And what do you envision as maybe the next chapter of your entrepreneurial journey?
Got you. So my plan for my business, I wouldn't say that it's cash related or income related, uh, because really my goals are always impact related, right? And so my goal this particular year is to impact at least 1,000 households by helping them to set up their estate plan. Right. I have many Medicare clients. I have many life insurance clients all over the nation. But that seems to be an Achilles heel for the average family, just because it's a difficult conversation, I believe, for them. And me and the team I've hired, we've really done a good job of humanizing it to the best of our ability, where the seriousness of the decision is there, but also, helping them to not be, going to sleep throughout that appointment with so much education, but they can have fun in the appointment and just know that they're coming to the best solution possible for their family. So I would say that that's probably my primary goal that I'm really laser focused in. You know, the money comes with service. Anything that you do, whenever you help individuals, they point you in the direction of somebody else who needs help. So I've never really been hyper focused on, oh, I need to make, $500,000 this year or anything like that. I'm hyper focused on, I need to help people, and people want to help you when you help them. So
I'm going to ask you now to speak to aspiring entrepreneurs. What advice would you offer someone who's just starting their journey or is facing challenges in their business?
Gotcha. Um, well, for somebody just starting their journey, I would always say that learn your craft as best as you can, whatever you're trying to get into. Um, and I mean, I took a hard road, so let me go ahead and make sure I make it clear. Um, I am one of those people who actually chose to have a cold market as my starting place. I did not start with a warm market. And anybody who's ever done insurance, they know any company that hires you, hey, take the 200 people in your cell phone. And then, after you take those 200 people in your cell phone, you follow up with all of them. And then that's how you really do well. I really didn't want to do that. One, because of how people perceive the industry. I didn't want it to change my relationships, if I'm frank. But then the other reason why is because I feel that normally when you start off with the warm market, it's very hard to determine your level of expertise, because people who like you will naturally have a lower barrier of entry for you. So I would say that even if you are going to go into business and try to use your warm market or whatever you're trying to do, make sure that you try to learn enough and be an expert enough that you could speak to a cold market, that you could appeal to people who have uh, no insight of who you are, because that will help you tremendously in knowing if you're actually helping people. And so that would probably be one of my first things. Now, as far as not giving up, I would say that a lot of people who give up on a business have not given in to the business a lot of times. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I haven't found one person who, if they took at least 30 minutes a day to think about their business and think about how they could be innovative in their business and really make it work, I haven't found one of those who failed, who does that consistently, right? I think we are in the nature of having instant gratification, and that's why it's so hard for people to survive in business. You have to be willing to work without compensation at some point. You have to be able to delay it until you've gotten your craft good enough to, deserve whatever income you're supposed to get. And I think that a lot of people have gotten away from that. But truly, if you do good work and you're focused on doing good work first, you will not have to look for people eventually. That's just That's just the name of the game. People know people who do good work.
That is great information and great advice. Thank you so much for your time today, Clayton. It's been great to meet with you, to get to know about you and your business, and to hear your heartbeat for your field.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And to everyone else that's listening, join us for the next episode of Growing in Business.